What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. You already know I'm your host, Dustin, singer, actor Lewis. And listen, sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all of the reality TV tea, but it's always going to be what you want, and it's definitely what you need. And baby, what you need to do right now is comment, like, subscribe, share with a family member, share with a friend, share with the person next to you in the cubicle. So we can do what? Grow our community over here, baby. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to grow our community. And listen, I ain't going to hold y'all too long. We're going to go ahead and dive into this episode of Bellecollective. The episode was real good. The ladies have been bringing it this season. We are 5 episodes in, and I've been enjoying it so far. So great show so far, ladies. Shout out to y'all. But we are on season 6, episode 5, the Biloxi Blues. And let's go ahead and dive on in. Now, the episode opens up with Kerri inviting some of the ladies to a crawfish boil. Now, the ladies that she invited was Selena, Leticia, Marie. Those are the ladies that she invited. Now, I love a good crawfish boil, baby. Crawfish season is my favorite season down here on the Gulf Coast, baby. Listen, I'm gonna be real. Gulfport, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, baby, we tear the crawfish game up. Baby, crawfish is what we do, baby. I love me a good mud bug. They real delicious. And with that being said, Kerri, now you my girl. I love me some Kerri so far. Baby, I ain't never seen nobody take a piece of light bread, slather some mayonnaise on with a glove, pass it out to the congregation, and then make a little homemade mayonnaise crawfish sandwich. I ain't never seen nobody do that. Baby, if you wanted a po' boy, you should have just ordered you a po' boy. But that is not how we eat crawfish. Poor Marie was so confused, and I couldn't be mad at Marie this go around. I couldn't even be mad at my girl because she was confused. I was confused. Marie had pushed that bread away from her. She said, go away from me with this. She was not finna eat that bread. And I ain't mad because when we eat crawfish down here, we like a little potato. We like a little corn. We like a little sausage. That's what we like to eat ours with a little lemon butter, a little garlic butter. That's what we like. Now, some people, they'll do like a mayonnaise ketchup like spread. I don't like that. I don't want that burger souffle stuff on my crawfish. Give me the butter, baby. Clog my arteries. We need that good butter with our crawfish or nothing at all. Because sometimes, baby, you get to sucking them heads and pitching them tails. Baby, you don't even need nothing. So this crawfish sandwich or whatever it was that you made, Kerri, don't bring that back on our screen because that is not what we do. We is classy based down there on the coast. And I was just offended and sad. The nerve. Now, let's get back to this episode review. So, Kerri is showing the ladies the crawfish or whatever. And, so Maria's asking her, she was like, hey, look, are the other ladies going to be showing up to this event? And Kerri lets her know, like, listen, no, I wanted this to be a drama-free event. I just want to keep the peace. And I did not invite Tambra and Latrice, which I think is a great idea. It's a great thing to not invite them right now because things are a little bit iffy. And Leticia, she's asking Selena, she was like, hey, what were your thoughts on the pool event? Because they haven't really talked about it. And they discussed the pool party. And Selena lets it be known, hey, I had a conversation with Latrice and Tambra. She said I met up with them, and they give us a flashback of them having a conversation. And I will say this. The thing I appreciated with Selena was when Selena had said, hey, girl, I think, Latrice, what Leticia wanted from you was just for you to come to her and be like, hey, girl, this is what's going on. I just want to let you know this is the information that was brought to me. And that's what Leticia was looking for. And Selena's just like, she's hurt because she feels like the ladies they were in a good place. They made some great traction. And then now they had a setback. And it's a huge setback because Leticia don't feel like she can trust Latrice, which rightfully so. Like, I get it. So I hate that it happened. I hate that they have this setback, but shout out to Selena for being honest in that moment and letting Latrice know, like, hey, look, you should have just went to your girl and had the conversation because that's really what she should have did, to be honest. Now, Kerri tells the ladies that she wants to bring them down to the Gulf Coast, baby, yes, to get them a change of scenery and a change of place, just to kind of switch up the energy because the ladies got a lot of negative energy up there in Jackson right now, so she wants to bring them down here just to kind of reset the group. Great idea. So she lets it be known, like, hey, look, I'm inviting everybody on this girls' trip. I think that the positive energy can benefit all of us, so I'm inviting all of the girls. I love that, Kerri. You're doing the right work. And also, too, while they down here, Letitia and Kerri, they're going to go ahead and do a little brunch thing at one of Kerri's restaurants. So listen, it's a win-win all across the board. Now, something that I did appreciate also too was Letitia being honest in that moment, being like, look, girl, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to come down here to support you, but I'm going to let you know I'm going to have to lean on you when it comes to this brunch situation because, listen, I'm at my max right now with all this other stuff I got going on with me and Glenn and this alleged situation with Amanda. So, girl, you have to pick up a lot of the slack for me. So, Kara's like, listen, girl, you know, I got the takeover spirit. I ain't mad. I got you. That's what friends do. This is how friends show up for each other. And I appreciate that. So, I'm looking forward to the ladies coming down here to the Gulf Coast to party with us. And it looks like it's going to be a good time. So the next scene that we have, we see Tambra and her beautiful daughter. I have never seen Tambra's daughter, so it was really, really beautiful to see her, little girl. And honestly, to get a scene from Tambra, because we're not getting a lot of scenes with Tambra, to be honest. So good to see you too, Tambra, honestly. So, you know, Tambra is letting us know that she's a little nervous about putting London Simone in daycare. She understands that it's needed, but she need to do it eventually, baby. She just like, I'm nervous right now about putting my baby into daycare. Tambra, I'm going to say this. I feel like all moms or all parents go through that. So I get it. I empathize with you in that situation. Just remember, daycare is beneficial for your baby, for them to develop, for them to be around people their age, to grow and to see each other, and to gain those different characteristics that make us who we are. So, girl, go ahead and put that baby in daycare. She'll be all right. She might be sick every week, child, because I feel like every friend I got that put their child in some type of daycare, they always talking about they sick. This don't make no sense. The daycares, we need to figure that thing out. Keep it cold like the hospital or something. Baby, that's why the babies is sick. I don't know, child, but anyway, we see Damon walk in and they have a conversation. Like I'm just going to get right onto it. Tambra and Damon have a conversation about finances, and she feels like, you know, she's a little bit more open. She's a little bit more structured when it comes to finances, and he's not necessarily like that. She's more of a planner. He's not. So she wants to know a little bit more about his finances, and he's not comfortable sharing. Tambra, I'm going to say this. A lot of men sometimes aren't. And I think that when he made the comment, have you or her ever had to want for anything? Tambra's like, no. But I get where Tambra's coming from. Like, yeah, we haven't had to want for anything, but I need to make sure that we're good and you're not overextended on that end, because if something happens, God forbid, I don't want to be left with no type of bills on nothing. And that's not what she's saying, but like, that's sometimes what happens in situations like that. Like, she wants to make sure that all of our finances are in line before we continue this situation. Now, one thing I'm going to say, Tambra, this is a conversation you should have had prior to having y'all's baby. Just saying. Because, you know, you are saying that you had all of these nest eggs and you had everything set up for your baby before she even got here. You should have had that conversation with him to make sure it was the same. So I think that he's a little uncomfortable, because I think that some men do get a little defensive when it comes to questioning their finances, when he feels like he's been doing everything that he's supposed to do. I get where you're coming from and making sure that he's doing everything the right way and making sure that all the checks books are balanced the proper way, girl. So I 100% get it. You might have to figure out a new way to have that conversation with the brother, because I think that, girl, he a good Southern man, baby, and sometimes them good Southern men just simply don't understand. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. What's next here? They talk about I already talked about that. So we get into Latrice. So we see Latrice, and she is getting ready to pack for the trip on the Gulf Coast. And we see her in her confessional. She's letting us know, look, I feel a little uncomfortable. I feel like this trip might be a little tense because she hasn't seen or talked to Letitia in a minute. So as she's packing, we see Big Money Cliff coming in there. Old man Cliff, baby. Old man Clifford. He's coming through there, and he lets her know, hey, baby girl, you know, I see you've been going through a lot with the Bells. I fix you a little dinner. Come on down here and get some of this dinner. Now, I know that's right, Cliff. Cliff is old player, baby. Cliff said, you know what, let me fix my baby girl a good little dinner to make sure she's ready. And they rehashed the pool party. Now, you know, she's asking him if he's talked to Glenn. He's like, nah, he hasn't really heard from him. But she lets it be known that she's talked to Mandy. And Amanda was really apologetic about the whole situation. And Latrice says, you know, I can't be held accountable for another grown person's actions. And Cliff, he kind of agrees. But Latrice, you kind of are responsible for that because that was your event. The questions were asked at your event. And it seems like this girl came in here with a battery in her back to come at Letitia. And especially with the conversations that she was having with Letitia, was like, oh, well, the way that y'all had did my girl in the past. So you came in here ready to air this girl business out instead of you pulling her aside and having the conversation. So I get, Latrice, you are saying that you didn't know that she was going to do that, but it doesn't feel like you didn't know. I'm just going to have to put that out there. It doesn't feel like you really didn't know. So Latrice, we are seeing here that she said that she did call Letitia, which we see clips of her calling Letitia. We see Letitia with the phone saying, girl, I ain't finna talk to her right now. And, you talking about you met with Amanda, you talking about you did these things, but I feel like you should have there is more that you could have done to make sure that your friend is good, especially if you are trying to work on that friendship. I really feel like you could have did a little bit more there, girl. I really do. Yeah, I feel like you should have called her first. I don't know what sorry, y'all. I got a message. Yeah, so I feel like you should have did that first. Just being honest with you. You definitely should have. You ain't being a good friend in this moment. Now when Clifford had asked about her ball gown, he said, baby, why is you in this ball gown and you just ain't going nowhere? He said, we ain't going to no ball. We ain't going to prom. What you got this gown on for? And when I tell you that was, I almost cussed. When I tell you that was good to me, because that man didn't have to eat that girl up like that. And she said, listen, I'm in my soft girl area. I'm trying to be in my soft girl, soft wife. When I get my rich, lavish lifestyle, I ain't got to work no more. And he said, baby, you already rich. Latrice, you got you a good man, girl. He might be old, but you got he ain't that good. He all right. You got you an all right man, girl. You better stay with it. Now, she said, listen, when I'm on vacation, where do you plan on staying while I'm gone? And he was like, look, I'm going to stay at the condos above the restaurant. She said, look, when I'm back here at this house, you need to make sure you back here as well. And he was like, baby, you grown, I'm grown. Now, Cliff, see here, this is why I got to give you a little bit, bro. I don't know what it is with Cliff and why he's so interested in living a separate lifestyle. Cliff, a couple of seasons ago, wasn't you begging this woman to have a baby? So why is you so eager to go and stay at these other places? Cliff, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, Cliff. And you have to explain that to us. Because you really wanted this girl to have this baby, but now you don't even want to be at the house. You're not finna do our girl like that. You're not finna have her up in this house by herself with this baby. You wanted this baby, old man, you go in there and raise it with her. Now, how about that? So, Cliff, be at the house when our girl get back there. That's all we got to say. So we see Kerri is at the mansion on the Gulf Coast. She's at the mansion. We see her and her husband, Matt. And they are getting the house ready for the ladies, for the Bells to show up to the house. Now, the house was a gorgeous home. I've seen the house. I know what the house is from the coast. And it's beautiful. It really, really is a gorgeous home. So it was funny when I see her and Matt talking about look, we only have so many bedrooms. He said, look, what you can do, you can go ahead and put Latrice and Letitia in this room with the bunk beds and just make them be in the room and work it out. And she look, I don't know if that's the best idea. I'm getting hot. I don't know if that's the best idea, but she said, I got something planned out for that. And Kerri, girl, it worked out in your favor because the way you did that was great. That was really, really, really good. Now, as the ladies are getting ready to come down to the coast, we see Tambra and Selena meeting up. Now, they're the first two to get there because they're the ones that kind of got together the sprinter for the ladies to come down to the coast. So they're kind of organizing the trip, but Kerri's over the house and all of the things that they're going to do when they get on the actual coast. So when the ladies get there, everybody's coming in and we see Latrice and Letitia make it there. Now they give each other a little side hug and I tell you, it was extremely awkward. It was really, really, really awkward. And, we see a flashback of, some confessionals and we see the ladies talking about Letitia and Glenn. And, and Tambra's just essentially saying look, I understand I knew this information, but it wasn't on me to go and have that conversation with Letitia about it. And I'm in full agreements when it comes to Tambra on that. I get that Tambra could have, But Tambra and Letitia have had issues when it came to her relationships. They have tried to bring a man around. So I can get Tambra being like, look, I ain't finna entertain or enter that space with her. Yes, somebody gave me this information, but they ain't got nothing to do with me. Latrice, this supposed to be your girl. Both of them supposed to be your girls. You go and have that conversation. That's how I would have approached it. So I'm with Tambra. Tambra don't need to get involved in that at all. So I'm full in support of that. So now that the Sprinter is here, you know, the ladies are in the Sprinter. They start having conversations and, you know, Tambra and Selena, because the ladies were asking about the rooms. Tambra and Selena just reiterate to the girls like, look, we just organized this Sprinter, baby. When it comes to the rooms and all of that, y'all gonna have to talk to Miss Kerri about that, baby. Miss Kerri, baby, she the one that's over that whole shaboom shabam. When I tell you, when they was like, oh, as long as there ain't no bunk beds, as long as everybody got their own room, and I was like, ooh. I hate to say it, I hope it don't sound ridiculous, but some of y'all gonna have to be bunk bedding it out up in this thing. Some of y'all gonna have to be bunk bed buddies when it comes to this good trip, and that was good to me. So somebody on the trip, on the Sprinter, asked Letitia, you know, babe, you know, how are things going? How are you feeling? And she just lets it be known, like, hey, I'm in a weird space when it comes to me and Glenn right now. We're not in the best space, you know, I'm more so in the room with my son because that's my safe space. That's where I feel comfortable. And she's just like, look, I'm just tired of people coming at my relationship. She's tired of people playing in her face. She's tired of people playing about her relationship. And honestly, Letitia, I get it. That whole situation didn't have to be. So I 100% understand. And we can see that Latrice can feel the tension between the two of them, right? They in the Sprinter. She can't go nowhere. The conversation is happening. So she just has to sit there uncomfortably through the whole thing. I can understand that. But Latrice, unfortunately, girl, this is the situation you kind of put yourself in, unfortunately. I hate it for you, but you did this to yourself, baby. Now, the ladies finally make it to the Gulf Coast and they make it to the mansion that Kerri has rented for them. And I gotta say, Kerri did a great job welcoming the ladies in. She had cocktails for the ladies waiting on them outside before they even went into the house. When they went into the house, she had packages with her face all over everything. Baby, she said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all this welcome package, but it's gonna be full of goodies that's representing me and my business. It's great advertisement, baby. That's how you supposed to do it. People might not like it, but I'm gonna be in full support. Cause listen, if you got a moment that you can advertise yourself and sell yourself, baby, you better take it. Kerri saw an opportunity and she did what needed to be done. Great job, girl. Now, when it came time to picking these doggone rooms, this is where it was good to me. And I don't know what it is about when people go on these trips. Every time, any reality show, if they going on a trip, you already know one or two things gonna happen. One, they gonna fight over the rooms, and two, they gonna be some good liquor drinking. Those are two things that's gonna definitely happen on a girl's trip. And what happens? We trying to figure out the rooms. Now, Kerri, I like the way she did it. She said, you know what? We're gonna go in order of seniority, baby. Who was the oldest here? Oh, Selena. By the way, I did not know Selena was the oldest. I thought Marie was the oldest. Selena, you look good, girl. And hold on, wait. I don't want nobody to say, Dustin, you come from. I'm not coming from. Marie looks good. Everybody looks good. They truly do. But I just thought that Selena was younger. Anyway, so Selena gets first dibs on rooms. Then we go to Marie, baby. After Marie, Tambra said, baby, I'm next. I'm the next one. Tambra, I don't feel like you were supposed to be next, but you just went next anyway. And then we have our two baby Bells. Baby, it was 6 ladies in 5 rooms. So our two baby Bells, Letitia and Latrice, baby, gotta share a room. So Kerri, baby, it worked out in your favor anyway. You did something great for the TV show, baby. I lived for that. And both of them are like, this here ain't gonna work. We can't be in the room with each other. Me and this lady ain't even spoke. We barely hugged each other. And you think we're gonna be in the room together for this trip? Absolutely not. So, you know, Letitia lets it be known, baby, I'm finna go in here and sleep with Marie. She said, God, I thought I heard somebody at my door. I got scared. She said, look, Marie can be having phone, you know what, with Cedric. She said she can be breaking wind, passing wind, doing whatever she need to do, snowing in the night. I'm going to be on the side of her because I will not be in that room with Miss Latrice. And let me tell you something. I understand. You can't sleep in a room with somebody you enemies with. Baby, that's how you have bad dreams. Don't ask me how I know. But that's how you have bad dreams, girls. Y'all get that together. So as the ladies are getting settled, Kerri lets them know, hey y'all, we got a couple of minutes. We need to head to our gator excursion. So they go into a gator tour. Honestly, those gator tours look so much fun. I've never done one, surprisingly. But yeah, they look like a good time. Some of the ladies wasn't really feeling it, but it looks like everybody had a good time overall. And the person that I feel like had the most fun goes to Selena. Selena looks like she's just so much fun. Great energy, even keel most of the time. She don't really wallow in the mess. And she just here to have fun. And I love when she held the baby gator. She was like, baby, I'll take me one of these home and I eat them. I know that's right, baby. If you ain't never had a little piece of gator, go and try you a little piece of gator. Because gator is delicious. I'm telling y'all now, a little piece of gator is good. And I'm trying to find a little fan or something. Because I'm over here just... Girl, I'm hot. Hold on. Let me just do that. Y'all, excuse me. Excuse me, baby. We normally classy around here, but I done got hot. And it's cold outside, and this air conditioner act like he don't want to work. So we just gonna have to make it do what it do. So anyway, the ladies are getting ready for dinner, right? So Kerri tells the girls, hey y'all, we ain't even got to worry about changing. We're just going to go directly to our next spot in Ocean Springs where we're going to have dinner. If you've never been to Ocean Springs, it is a great spot. They have some wonderful places to eat down Government Street. Cute place. Love me some Ocean Springs. Shout out to Ocean Springs. Shout out to Tater Nut Donuts. If you ain't never been there, baby, make sure you go over there and get you some donuts. The best donuts I've ever had in my life. So, the ladies are at the venue for dinner. Beautiful venue. The food is looking good. But, baby, when they brought them raw oysters out, baby, here go my girl Marie. Baby, y'all know Marie. I goes up for that Marie. That is my favorite person on this show. I love me some Big Money Marie. Marie said, baby, this all we got? We ain't got nothing else because I can't eat this. I'm with you, Marie, though. I'm not a big raw oyster fan. So if they only would have brought that, I said, I'll try one for y'all. But they ain't really my judge. I am not a raw oyster fan. The texture is it's a no. It's a chop. Absolutely not. But the spread looked beautiful. It looked like a good time. So, Kerri is talking to the ladies. They introduce themselves to the owner of the restaurant. And they start talking about the brunch that her and Letitia are going to have. So Letitia's singing her praises. She's lets it be known, like, girl, I appreciate you for picking up the slack. Girl, you were the rock that I could lean on when it came to this. You really set up things. You had it going for us, and I appreciate you. And, that just kind of steamrolls them right into what? The pool party, baby. We are back at the pool party. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to be so glad when we get past this pool party. Now, that's one thing I would say. Go ahead and get us past this pool party. And I feel like we kind of getting there. We getting there. So Letitia and Latrice finally have a conversation. They finally have a conversation about the situation. And, the thing when it comes to this whole thing, and Letitia finally confronted her and she just lets her know, like, listen, I feel like I was lied on. I feel like I was set up. And we can all agree, well, not all of us, we don't have to agree, but I feel like we can all see and we can get how she can feel that way because the way the questions were posed, the way Amanda was just ready to just give it to Glenn, the way that she made it a big production in front of everybody, instead of just pulling her friend to the side or y'all just having a conversation with her, I can see how she felt set up. I truly can. And Latrice, I don't know why you was looking for Tambra to jump in. One, Tambra wasn't there. I understand Tambra was there when Amanda told you the information, but you knew that information prior to Tambra even knowing. So you can't sit up here and throw it on Tambra like, that's your battle to fight. That ain't got nothing to do with Tambra. You jumped in that fire, and it's time for you to get yourself out of it, baby. You getting burned by yourself. Tambra said, I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke of this. This ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, one thing I will say, Tambra did jump in, and when she says, like, look, I don't think that Latrice set Amanda up to do that to you. She did say that. She said she feels like Amanda did that on her own. I guess. I don't really know. I kind of feel like Latrice had a little bit more to do with it, in my opinion. Just my opinion. So, when they talk about the questions, I do, again, just like Letitia, feel like those questions were targeted towards her and Glenn. Because in all honesty, those are not questions that you would ask your friend group. Who is asking a friend group with their partners there? Who feels, I'm just saying, if it was a bunch of married couples, if somebody had asked that question, who in here finds each other attractive? It would seem like there's somebody wanting to do something. It seems like we trying to have a sister wives, or we trying to have a little swingers soiree. That's kind of what it's giving. So I don't feel like that's an appropriate question to ask a group of married people. Now, if that's something that y'all do and that's what you love, great, baby. I say y'all have all the fun. But that's not the most appropriate question to ask some of your friends, especially if you know they ain't going for that. So, when it comes to playing in her face, you know, Latrice was like, listen, I didn't play in your face. You know, everybody played in your face. And I'm going to say this too. Everybody did play in your face, Letitia. All of them, including your husband, baby. Because if anybody owed you the most respect, it's him. Because he shouldn't have even set you up to be in that position. He should have never entertained that girl. He should have never had a conversation with that girl. He should have never reached out to her, point blank, period. So the most of, in my opinion, the onus really goes to him. It really, truly does. Do I think that girl code was broken in this situation? Yes. I think that it was broken, because I think that when something like this happens, especially if you are trying to repair that friendship that was fractured at one point, you should have went to that girl and had a conversation with her. Or that lady, excuse me. You should have went to her and had a conversation. And that's how you should have handled the situation. It just was handled poorly. It was just handled poorly, and I think that you could have done a better job. So, about the questions. Do we feel like the questions that were posed at the party, Latrice knew about those questions? Latrice is kind of saying no, and I feel like the ladies are split on this. Like, most of the ladies feel like Latrice didn't know. Marie is like, she feel like she knew on, you know, about those questions. I feel like they showed a clip of Latrice reading over the questions before they got there. So I do think that she was aware of some of these questions. Maybe she didn't realize that the person was going to read that one, but I think that she was aware that these questions were on the list. I do. I personally do. I think that she was aware. Now, when Letitia asked Latrice, you know, is there anything that she's seen Glenn do that was inappropriate? And when Latrice just picks up her glass and she starts drinking it, I'm with Marie. Baby, that was your answer. That was your answer. And at this moment, Latrice, she's asking you for the information. Just give it to her. If you've seen the man do something that's inappropriate, just give it to her and just be done with the situation. Because if you try to come out later with like, oh, well, he did have this happen. Or, girl, you know he doing X, Y, and Z anyway. If she's asking for it, give it to her. And what she decides to do with that information, that's 100% on her. But I feel like you should just give it to her, and you should just leave it be. I can understand, though, that you feel like you're in a rock and a hard place because you're friends with both of these ladies, and your husband's really good friends with her husband. So I can get how you feel like you in a lose-lose situation. But at this point, if the lady is asking for the information, just give it to her. Just give it to her. Or be like, hey, I'll set up a meeting for me, you, and Amanda, and all of us can just lay all of this out on the line. Like, you're going to have to figure that out, girl, because you playing both sides, and unfortunately, you can't do it right now. You're going to have to pick a side. It ain't even really picking a side. Kind of, sort of. You're going to have to just figure out what you want to do at this point. Or to be like, hey, I'll set up a meeting between you and Amanda. I don't even want to be there. And y'all just have a conversation about the whole situation. So that's kind of what needs to happen there. But that's where the episode ends. I'm really, really excited about the next episode because I think that we have just a one-on-one sit down between Latrice and Letitia, which is absolutely needed. But that's where the episode ends, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being on this journey with me. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. We have Real Housewives of Potomac, I think, will be coming out maybe tomorrow, maybe. But yeah, with that being said, have a good one, everybody.